September 29th, today, is the World Heart Day. What are the things which needs to be done to make sure that your heart health is taken care of? And that's what we're going to talk about. So we'll make it short, to the point, and crisp. We're going to talk about fitness and heart health. We have heard a lot of people who are into fitness succumbing to heart diseases. Recently, a Bollywood actor. So where are we missing? What is that we are missing? We're talking about, of course, cholesterol and how to manage cholesterol, high BP or hypertension, what needs to be done from a lifestyle perspective, salt intake. We're going to talk about what oil to use. Is cardio meant for everyone? Cardio is, after all, meant for heart health, but can you all do it? Heart rate, when you're exercising, what heart rate to look for? COVID related heart issues, and what kind of exercise should you do and should you not do after recovering from coronavirus? Smoking and its impact on heart, importance of routine checkups, heart attacks, things to look out for, diabetes and its impact on heart attack, especially silent heart attack or silent MI. What is a heart healthy diet? What are the things to look out for if there is a familial history of heart disorders? And a small calculator to find out where on the risk spectrum are you with regards to heart health. Yeah. So first thing, fitness and heart health. A person having fitness means, having six-pack abs or looking muscular and good, does not necessarily guarantee that his health and all his parameters, vitals, are within the range. A person can have a six-pack abs and still have high cholesterol, may still have heart disorders or blocks forming in the arteries, etc., especially if the person is into smoking and other related issues. Fitness, if a person is fit, there is a very high chance that the person will also be healthy, but it does not guarantee that the person is healthy. So fitness is not equal to health. They are related, and there is a possibility of a person being healthy. Yeah. So keep that in mind. It's important to be fit. It's also important to be healthy. And fitness is a means to becoming healthy. In the name of fitness, if you do steroids and to build up muscles, etc., highly, highly unhealthy, not just for heart, but for many other organs. Cholesterol. Remember, even the most healthiest food, if you overeat, your cholesterol levels will increase. Cholesterol does not happen only from eating excess of non-vegetarian food. Even pure vegetarians also might have high cholesterol. World's most healthiest food, if you eat more than what your body needs, in excessive of calorie intake, your triglyceride levels are going to be increased. Excessive sugar intake, processed carbohydrate, all of it will increase cholesterol levels. So manage that. And if you're on a medicines, do not stop medicines at your whims and fancies. It needs to be done only with the prescription of your doctor. High BP and hypertension, multiple reasons for this. It could be because of lifestyle. Obesity is one of the reasons. Kidney disorders is another reasons. So if there is a high BP and if the doctor has prescribed antihypertensive tablet, please again do not stop it at your whims and fancies. It needs to be done only after the consultation and prescription of a doctor. Now, salt intake is something that we all know needs to be reduced if the person is having a high BP. But it's not just salt. The problem is sodium. And sodium is very high even in a lot of packaged food. So when you buy food from outside, especially when you do a grocery shopping, flip around and read the calories and see what is the content of the sodium that is required. According to the American Heart Foundation, the required amount of the maximum permissible amount of sodium per day is somewhere around 2000, 2500 milligrams. Okay. And if a person is already hypertensive, then it is best to be kept around 1500 to 2000 milligrams of sodium. How much is 2000 milligrams of sodium? I will give you a number to compare that with. One teaspoon of iodized salt has roughly around 2500 to 3000 milligrams of sodium. So your quota for sodium is even lesser than that. So make sure you are not adding extra sodium from preserved food that you otherwise buy from the supermarket, etc. So be careful about the sodium intake. If you're high cholesterol, omega-3 fatty acids such as fish oil or algae oil or even flaxseed oil, these are all good for bringing down cholesterol levels. Of course, it needs to be done along with lifestyle changes, including exercises and eating properly. Now, what oil to use? Any oil. The world's most healthiest oil, if you overuse it, you immediately get onto an excessive calorie. So whatever oil that you are using, try to move more towards monounsaturated oil. So that would be olive oil, most of the almond oil, avocado. These are all good for heart. because it's monounsaturated oil. Saturated oil such as ghee, butter, coconut, there is a huge debate if they are healthy or not. The scientific world is still in disagreement with, if saturated fat is good for heart or bad for heart. So to be sensible, we always tell our clients to keep the saturated fat intake as low as possible. You can use your coconut oil, butter and ghee because they are very heat resistant, because they are have a very high smoke point. So if your cooking involves deep frying or frying at a very high temperature, or tawa frying, or things like that, then use these kind of oil because they are very resistant to heat. But otherwise, move towards unsaturated oil. Rice bran oil, another oil which is very healthy for heart. But any oil, irrespective of saturated or unsaturated, if you overuse, it's going to be bad for your heart. Your chances of cholesterol buildup and everything is increasing, because you will be obviously on an excess calorie intake. Now, avoid dalda, avoid trans fat, avoid margarine, avoid, when you buy stuff from outside, packaged food, of course, look for trans fat. If you find trans fat, avoid that. Sometimes people, instead of writing it as trans fat, they would write it as hydrogenated vegetable oil. So if you find that, also avoid that. It immediately increases the cholesterol levels in the body. So look out for these numbers of these parameters and avoid them. Stop reheating oil. When you reheat oil, then there are chances of toxins being produced, or the molecular structure of these fat molecules changes to become unhealthy fat, such as trans fat, etc., which causes an increase in the cholesterol. That's why we say, after making papad, don't keep that oil aside and use it for something else, right? And also, do not overheat the oil, and do not let smoke come out of the oil. Okay, so these are the things to look out for. Next is cardio exercises are good for heart, but if there is any particular heart disorder, such as congenital heart disorders, or issues such as dilated cardiomyopathy, or ventricular hypertrophy, there are these conditions. If there are these kind of conditions, before doing cardiovascular exercises and start running or cycling or swimming extensively, please ask your doctor if you are there, if you're ready, if you're okay to do these kind of issues. It also depends upon the severity of it. So cardiovascular exercises are good for heart, but before you go ahead and do that, please get a go ahead from your doctor in your particular case. It is okay for somebody else does not mean that it might be okay for you. So be careful about that. Next is heart rate while exercising. Now, what is the maximum heart rate permissible? 220 minus your age. You get a number, right? A 90% of that number is the maximum permissible heart rate. Suppose if you are 40 years of age, 220 minus 40 will be 180, right? 90% of 180 will be what? 90 plus 56. So that will be somewhere around 150. That is a maximum heart rate which you can reach when you're doing excessive of cardiovascular exercises such as running or cycling. Make sure that you do not exceed over that, and keep a watch. The normal heart rate rhythm is somewhere around 60 to 80 or 90 or maximum up to 100. That is a normal rhythm when you're in the normal thing. So latest fitness watches, or smart watches, etc., would give you these heart rate. Keep a look on the heart rate. If you are after 40 or 45, these gadgets are very cheap. You will get it with much lesser cost. COVID and tachycardia. Immediately after recovering from COVID, please do not start running or doing exercises such as cycling, because post-COVID tachycardia is an increase in the heart rate, becoming very common. We get a lot of people coming out with these kind of issues. Please do not start running or walk, these kind of exercises. Get into deep abdominal breathing exercises. Diaphragmatic breathing exercises are good for settling your heart rate to the normal levels, which is around that, as I said, around 70 to 80 levels, and gradually include cardiovascular activity such as walking, brisk walking, and then get into exercises. I would, as a general rule, roughly around 2 to 3 months, do not get into any strenuous exercises, is what we say. But it also depends upon how severe was the COVID. So these are all broad guidelines. It might vary from person to person, but then, yeah, as a matter of fact, do not get into doing very strenuous cardio exercises after recovering from COVID. Smoking and its impact. Smoking, the nicotine in the smoke in the tobacco is a vasoconstrictor. What is a vasoconstrictor? It constricts the arteries or the blood pipe, the pipes which takes the blood through. It constricts it. So what happens if you constrict the pipes which carries the blood? The pressure of the blood which is flowing through it increases, right? Like if you have a hose with which you water your plants, if you close one half of that hose while trying to pour water, the pressure of the water which is coming out increases, right? The same way the pressure increases of the blood if you constrict this thing. So obviously smoking is bad because it increases BP. It also corrodes the internal wall of these blood pipes or arteries, making it more susceptible towards plaque deposition. The plaque would be a combination of cholesterol, calcium. These are the things which happens there. So smoking is very, very bad. It increases cardiovascular diseases, the chance of it tremendously. Importance of routine checkup. Post 30 or 35 years of age, it is very, very important to take a routine blood checkup. It won't cost you more than 5,000 or maximum maybe 7,000, 8,000 rupees in tier 1 cities. We all spend more money than that yearly on our car. So we can spend that on our health also, right? And that's something that I very seriously harp on to all our clients. 5,000 to 10,000 rupees is not too much to spend for checking if your heart rate, if your entire health parameters are normal once in a year, right? And diabetes and its impact. People who are diabetic are twice to thrice as more susceptible to cardiovascular diseases. So it's important, if the person is diabetic, to also manage the blood sugar levels and also keep a watch on the heart health. Please make sure that the blood sugar levels are normals and it does not become so bad that it starts impacting the nerve. Once it starts impacting nerves, you will feel tingling sensation on the hands and legs. Such people are also more susceptible to silent attack or silent MI, as they call it, wherein when a person typically has a heart attack, he would have a chest pain, right? And that at least if he knows that he's having a chest pain, people can rush him to a hospital. In a silent MI is common among diabetes, wherein the person does not feel or understand that he's having a chest pain. And silent MI is hence very, very detrimental, causing very high mortality rate. So that people who are diabetic has a very high chance of silent MI. And then what is a heart healthy diet? A heart healthy diet is about being sensible, okay? About being sensible to have right amount of carbohydrate, fat, and protein. You need all the three. Anything in excess, if you have excess of carbohydrate or if you have an excess of fat, anything in excess, if you overdo, your cholesterol levels will increase, your belly fat will come out, and then there is a very high chance of cardiovascular diseases. So please take care of having a healthy diet. Do not get into any fad diet. Eat your vegetables, eat your fruits, eat your protein, but be sensible about it. Yeah. And if there is a familial history of heart, because it is also in the genes, if there is a familial history of heart attacks or similar cardiovascular diseases, please make sure after 30 years of age, it is mandatory that you do these kind of tests, and make sure a TMT test is a reasonably good indicator to tell if there is any possible ischemic events or ischemic, you would get that report and you could, and I think it's pretty cheap also. TMT report is very cheap for the money that we spend on it. It's a reasonably good indicator of a possible cardiovascular diseases or a possibility of a block forming inside. So it does not cost much of a money. Now, last, there is this website, cvriskcalculator.com. CV as in cardiovascular, cvriskcalculator.com. Click on that link, go ahead and fill in those details there and find out what is your risk towards a cardiovascular event in future. I hope you all are staying safe, staying healthy, staying fit, and staying young. Take care. This is Rajiv Ambat from NuvoVivo Center for Obesity, Lifestyle Disorders and Research. We are an online health and wellness company, and we help people become healthy and fit, and from across the globe, we help them even manage lifestyle disorders in a structured and scientific manner through lifestyle interventions. And over a period of time, if possible, even reduce the dosage of medication through a structured lifestyle change. All right, you take care. Have fun.